top of that. Never had a suit that fit. So we're 100% committed to the products. And if you're wondering why your business isn't growing, that's probably another thing. Okay? You're not 100% committed yet. You say, well, it's easy for you to say and all that sort of stuff, but I tell you what, I'm not bragging or anything, but we had some real challenges out here in Guam. Okay? There was nobody here to help us either. And we were a lot farther from our product source, and it cost us a lot more money to get the business on the ground. So you can do it. Let's see, step number 3 here. Step number 3, pattern for success. You need to make a list. You know, and this is really the first thing you need to do. Okay, you need to make a list of people. If you haven't heard that making the list, you need to get it. It's DBR 377, Making the List by Jim Dornan. That's the primary tape to listen to. See, people are your gold mine. Let me put it this way. If I told you that I give you $1,000 for every name that you can put on that list, how fast do you think you could get some names on that list? Pretty fast, right? Well, I tell you what, 100 names on your list is worth $100,000 to you. Okay? So let me show you why. See, by the time you work through 100 people, okay, if you did 2 people a week for 50 weeks, by the end of the year you'd have worked through 100 people. Okay? 70 we know will tell you no. So what? Turn a few into customers and flush the rest. 30 are going to tell you yes. Alright? Great. But 10 of those will quit almost before they get started. 10 of these will wait to see if you make any money in this thing. And 10 are going to go right away. Okay? Of those 10 that go, 3 will become directs within the first year of sponsorship. Anywhere from 6 to 12 months, they'll go direct. They hold that directorship for 6 months. That makes them profit-sharing directs. Do you know what 3 profit-sharing directs means to you in the Jaeger organization? Okay, 3 profit-sharing directs put you at the emerald level. Okay, an average emerald makes anywhere from $50,000 to $80,000 a year in this business. Okay, that's what it means to you. Okay, and within the next year, 3 more of these people will go direct, putting you at the diamond level. Okay, starting off at 100 grand and of course going on to God knows where. So 100 names is worth $100,000 to you. So just think, every name that you put in that list is worth $1,000. So you want 100 names on that list. You say, well, I don't know 100 people. Okay, well, you'll find them. When I came to Guam, I knew 2 people, and they weren't really interested. But we now have 160 some people in our group, and I've never knew them before. Okay, but you'll meet people once you realize what you have in your hands. You'll meet people, because I tell you what, anytime you start talking to people, what always comes up? Subject of money. Okay, and you've got something that they need to see. All right, I'll tell you more about that in just a second. But you need to make a list. Okay, you need to have a list of your immediate prospects, people that you know already. Okay, family, friends, relatives, people that you have close contact with. You need to have a long distance list. Okay, of people you know anywhere in the world, really, because this is an international business. Okay, then you need to have a list of what we call acquaintances, people that you'd like to get to know, maybe. People they don't know well, but you'd like to get to know them. Okay. The guy at the gas station, the girl at the bank, all that sort of stuff. You may not even know their names yet. I didn't. So that my first list was, girl at the bank, teacher in the 2nd grade, all that sort of stuff, until I started learning the names. And then I just started working through the lists, and, came together. And you never want to let your list fall below 50 names. If it ever gets below 50 names, you're in trouble. Here's why. If you sit down on the telephone and you've got 100 names, and somebody tells you no, it's a lot easier to flush them, say bye-bye, and go on to the next one. But if you sit down on the telephone and you got 3 names, the first one tells you no, what do you think's going to happen? You're going to get desperate on the second phone call. Nobody wants to get into business with somebody who's desperate. See, so you're just protecting yourself. You've got 100 names. It don't matter if this guy says no. Okay, 70 of them are going to tell you no anyway. There might be 70 in a row. So what? Okay, do you want to get rich or not? Okay. Okay, so step 4. Step 4 is the hardest one for most people. That's to invite your prospects. Okay, now, traditionally, we have, we make the invites and your sponsor will come to show the plan. Well, for most of you, your sponsor was me, so I really can't come. Although I'll be there. Okay, if you want to build this business, I'll find a way. But you're probably in the same boat that I was. You invite your prospects over to what? Who's going to show the plan? So basically, I had to rely on one-on-ones. And probably the best way to go about, the way I ended up doing it was simply say, calling up people, and we use a little thing here. And I'll send you one of these. It's called Proven Invites. And I just simply say, I'm in the process of expanding a business network, and I'm looking for a few key people who are serious about making money and aren't afraid to work. I can't promise you anything, but I thought I'd give you a shot at it. Can we get together sometime this week for about 15 minutes? Okay, I'm going to show the short form of the plan, which I'll show in a second. Okay, I'll say it again for you. Hey, Joe, this is Tim. I met you the other day at the bank. I'm in the process of expanding a business network, and I'm looking for a few key people who are serious about making money and aren't afraid to work. I can't promise you anything, but I thought I'd give you a shot at it. Can we get together sometime this week for about 15 minutes? And I just read this right off the form. Okay, well, 15 minutes, sure. What the heck, you know? What do you got to lose? And that's the way I set up my one-on-ones. Now, for people that I sponsor, and if they want to make the phone calls, I go ahead and let them, and I basically let them use this same sheet. And what they do is say, hey, John, have you got anything planned for Thursday night? Clear the evening. Great. Okay, nothing's planned. I just simply say, I've met someone who's teaching me how to make a lot of money. I thought you and Jane might be interested in hearing what he has to say. Can you be here at 8 o'clock? It should take about an hour. Okay? So it's simple, right? Now, if he says, I'm busy, well then you always have 2 meetings lined up. So you say, okay, great, what about Saturday night? All right? So you always have 2 meetings lined up. If he's still busy, say, no problem, I'll get back to you later, bye. Okay? You can learn this on any of the contacting tapes. This is where I got all this stuff, right from the tapes. So contacting is fairly easy. I never say meeting. I never try to get people to a meeting. I say we're always getting together with a few key people. We're getting together. We're having a get-together. And I'm in the process of expanding. I don't say I'm in a business. I never say my wife and I are starting a business or anything like that. Okay, that just sort of reeks of Amway. Okay, what people think of Amway. But I'm in the process of expanding the business. I'm looking for 2 or 3 key people who are serious about making money and aren't afraid to work. I can't promise you anything, but I'd like to get together with you about 15 minutes and discuss the possibilities. Okay, so it's really not that difficult, and it's much easier on the phone. Now, the other way to do that is we use what's something called an ad pack. Let's see, where did it go? Check the tape. Let's see if it's still working. This little thing we're just beginning to use. Now, they've been using these states for quite a while, and with great success. And this, see, I'm pretty good on the telephone now, and I can make the phone calls pretty easy. But it took me 1.5 years to build up enough courage to do that. So when I sponsor somebody, I don't want to wait 1.5 years for them to do it. So the first thing I do, well, that's not the first thing, but one of the things I do after I get somebody started in this business is I go ahead and give them 10 of these things. Okay, this is an ad pack, and inside this little gray envelope is a questionnaire that says, where will you be in 5 years? Most people never think of that. Okay, and it's really well pointed. And then there's a brochure that just simply discusses networking, and there's a 15-minute tape. Okay, now these are generic tapes, and you can get them for all kinds of people. This particular one is called Career and Financial Alternatives for Tomorrow's Leaders. This is aimed at college graduates. Probably the best one to get is the one that's called In Search of Financial Freedom. It's a green tape. That's pretty much, you can use that one for just about everybody. But we've got tapes for retirees, and tapes for graduates, and tapes for middle income, and we have tapes for professionals and people making $100,000 a year or more. And the classic mistake that most people make when they get into business is when they're making the list, they just try to think of people who need money. I tell you, and if you're making $20,000, you don't think the guy at $50,000 needs money, but I tell you what, he does. He's just broke at a higher lifestyle, so he just has bigger bills to pay. All right. And on top of that, most professionals, doctors, lawyers, you name it, their income is still dependent on their ability to work. That's why they're always looking for a real estate investment or something. Okay, because they know they can't work forever. Anyway, back to this little ad pack thing here. It's quite a simple thing. I just teach a guy to say this. Hey, John, you're at work the next day. Now, always be sure that you do this on your way out. Don't do it at the beginning of the day so you can ask you all kinds of questions on the way. Hey, John, by the way, okay, do you ever look for other ways to make money? Okay, do you ever look for other ways to make money? Well, yeah, sometimes. Why? Have you got a tape recorder? I'm not even letting him see this yet. Have you got a tape recorder? Well, yeah, why? Listen, take this home. I need it back in 24 hours. There's some exciting information on this. I think you'll like it. There's a 15-minute tape in here, a little brochure, explaining something about a business idea that I'm excited about. Can you get it back to me in 24 hours? Well, yeah, and I don't let it go until he says yeah. Okay? All right? And let him have it. It's good. I'll give you a call. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll give you a call later on, and we'll get back together and discuss some of the possibilities of what we need to do next. Okay? That's it. All right? So you can practice that. Very simple. John, do you ever look for other ways to make money? Yes. Do you have a tape recorder? Great. Can you get this back to me in 24 hours? Sure. What's it all about? Take it home and listen to it. It's got a 15-minute tape that talks a little bit about business opportunity that I'm excited about. Okay, and I think there's something in it for you. Okay, you might even want to add, I can't promise you anything, but it sure looks like something good. Okay, boom, see ya, bye. Okay, you're on your way out anyway. All right, you don't want to get bogged down on any questions. You can't show somebody the plan standing, 5 minutes after work. It really takes a good hour to go through this whole thing. Okay. Now, so that's the ad pack. These are, the stock number of this is AP ad pack AP/T, which means ad pack with tape. Okay. Now they're in the States they're about $5.50 a piece, but they're worth the weight in gold. Because see, what any guy can do this. Any guy can go pass these things out. Now be sure that you just don't go passing them out. Okay. Be sure that you qualify a guy first with those questions. Okay, find out if he looks for other ways to make money. Find out if he has a tape recorder. Find out if he gets back to 24 hours. Okay, so you don't lose these things. Okay. Let's see. Now, as far as getting a new guy started, well, let me come back to that. I'll come back to that in a second. Number 5 is to have a meeting. Okay, you need to have a meeting. Okay, I'm not going to go into a whole lot about how to have a meeting, and some of you are having your own meetings. The best thing for you to be doing right now is just a one-on-one. Okay, when you can get with somebody. Okay, once you get going, you'll have people that you go to meetings for. Just be sure that there's no kids around, there's no dogs around, that there's no distractions or anything. Okay, and then you go through the plan. Now you just saw me show the plan in a large group setting. Just copy that. Okay, when you start showing, just copy exactly what I did. 6, follow up. This is where most people lose it. They get the people in front of the plan, they show it to them, and then they wait for them to make a decision. Well, the key thing is that they had something to go home with. Okay? So when they have something to go home with, you got an appointment to get back to them. You do not let them go home without making an appointment.